Hey guys, welcome back to Coding and Fun. My name is Ankit Gupta. In the previous video, we had a discussion on functional interface. So I told you in that video what is functional interface and what are the benefits of using this functional interface. So today we are going to discuss about some predefined function interfaces of Java API. So let's start with first function interface, which is predicate functional interface. Let's take a situation where we can use this functional interface. Suppose you want to create a method which can take a generic type of argument as an input and wants to return a boolean value. So in those situations you don't need to create your custom interface, you can use this predicate functional interface. So let's see by using code. You can see on the screen this annotation functional interface. This annotation is not mandatory, but this will prevent you to add more than one method inside this interface. This predicate interface contains exactly one abstract method, which is test. It takes only one argument of type t, which is a generic type, and returns a boolean value. You can see the filter method, which is written on line number 7. It takes two arguments, one is of type list and other is of type predicate. This filter method iterate the list and check the condition by calling test method of predicate interface. Definition of this test method is not given yet. If you will go down line number 20, you can see the definition of predicate test method, which is assigned in the non-empty string predicate variable. Predicate is of type string and definition we are giving by using lambda expression. Now you can see in the right side we are taking only one argument, which is of type string, and returning the definition of this predicate interface. That means you can pass this definition directly in any method. If we will go to the line number 24, where we are calling this filter method, and inside this filter method we pass two arguments, one is list of strings and other is the definition of functional interface, which is non-empty string predicate. Right? I hope you understand how to use this predicate functional interface, exactly in which situation you can use this interface. Let's see some more examples. Now if you can see on the screen, there is another function interface, which is consumer. It is also defined in Java libraries. So this interface have exactly one abstract method, which is accept, and it takes one argument which is of type t, it's a generic type, and returns void. That means this method is not returning anything, it is void method, right? So if you will see in the line number 7, I have created one for each method. This is a custom method. This method is taking a list as a parameter, and a second parameter is of type consumer, which is a predicate interface. And inside this for each method, you can see it is iterating the list and calling the accept method and passing each element of list one by one. Right? If you will go to the line number 14, here we are calling this for each method, and inside this method we are passing the arguments. First argument here is a list of integers we are calling, and we are passing the definition of this consumer interface. If you will see the definition, which starts from integer I arrow sign, then we are printing this I variable. What definition says? It says this is a lambda expression. It says we are taking one argument which is of type integer and we are printing this element. We are not returning anything from this expression. So this is a type of interface you can use where you want to perform some operations on the input, but you don't want to return anything from that method. So you can use consumer functional interface. Let's see some more examples. If you can see on the screen, this is the functional interface of name function. This function interface have name function. So this function interface have one abstract method. The name of method is apply, which takes one argument of type t, which is a generic type, and returning some value of type r, which is also a generic type. That means this function interface have one method which takes one argument of generic type and returning the result of generic type. Now if you will see the line number 7, I have created one method which is map. It's a custom method, and this method takes two arguments. One is of type list and other is of type function. Now if you will go to the down, this method iterates the list and call apply method on each element of list and add it to the result list and then return the result list. Right, now we'll see the definition of this functional interface. If you'll go to the line number 20, here we are calling this map method, and inside this map method we are passing arguments. First argument says we are passing the list of strings. If you can see, we are passing the list of string, and the second parameter that we are passing, which is a definition of your functional interface. It's a lambda expression that we are directly passing to the argument of map method, and this lambda expression says we are taking one element of type string and returning the length of the element string, right? So through this way we can call this functional interface. So this interface you can use in those situations where you want to input of type generic and want to get the output of type generic. So you want to perform some operations intermediate and want to return some result of type generic. So in those situations you can use this predefined function interface of Java libraries. So I hope I have given the enough examples of these predefined function interfaces.